Today I'll be showing you how to make this beautiful pillow cover. It is a double crochet and single crochet stitches, as well as this beautiful leaf. Alrighty, so let's begin. I'll be using a size 5mm, size 5 hook, size 3, pair of scissors, button, and I'll be using the Burnett worsted, both in the white and the red. To begin this pattern, what I've done is half double crochets for the beginning. You could do one full length of 128 stitches going across here, or you could make two separate panels of 64. Depending on the size of your pillow, if you want to make it bigger, you can by all means add more stitch. Use your tape measure to measure the size of your pillow and then figure out how long you want it to be. Make our slip knot. So go ahead and chain as long as you want. As I mentioned, you could do 64 in one panel and another 64 chain in the second panel, or you could double that up and make one long length if you prefer not to do two panels. So add the 64 plus another 64, you get 128 chains. You could do that if you prefer, depending on how wide you want your pillow and how long. You can add more stitches, as well as you can go ahead and decrease the stitches. All right, so here I have chained, this is a demonstration, I've chained roughly about 22. What I do for the first portion of it, I started with half double crochets just to give it a nice base. So I'm going to half double crochet going along the length that way. I'm going to skip the first stitch, skip the first stitch here, and start in the second stitch here. There we go. So yarn over, insert hook in the next space beside it. You pull up that loop, yarn over, pull through all three. So that's a half double crochet. Yarn over, insert, pull up that loop, 3 loops on the hook, 1, 2, 3, yarn over and pull through all three. So you want to go ahead and do that to finish the base of your pillow cover. All right, so yarn over, insert, pull up, yarn over, pull through all three. All right, so once we have done our half double crochet, which is this portion here, the very first stitches, we're going to start our second stitches. These are double crochet and single crochet going up. It's really a beautiful stitch. It does add texture and quite of a richness to the project. So it's a project using half double crochet and single crochet and double crochet. All right, so we are going to turn our work. So what you want to do is chain 1. Okay. Turn the work over. So now you are going to start with a single crochet. Always start with a single crochet. No matter where you've ended here, what stitch, if it's a single crochet or a double crochet you've ended with here, when you're going to turn your work, always start with a single crochet. Alrighty, so let's begin. Insert in the very first space that you find on your set. Not the one on the loop, nor the one that you've just chained, but the very first set there. So we're going to insert all the way through, pull up that loop, 2 loops on the hook, yarn over and pull through both loops. Okay? I'm going to do that once again. So that was my very last half double crochet. Yarn over and I make 1 extra stitch. I turn my work over and I'm going to insert in the very first stitch that is available here. Not the one on the loop nor the single chain that I've made, but the very first stitch. So insert, pull up that loop, have 2 loops, yarn over and pull through both loops. So that's my single crochet, and I'm going to do a double crochet next. Yarn over, insert, pull up, now 3 loops, yarn over, pull through 2 loops, yarn over and pull through 2 loops. Okay, then our next stitch is going to be a single crochet. You've said it right. Insert in the next space, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over and pull through both loops. Our next stitch is going to be a double crochet. Yarn over, insert in the next space beside, pull up that loop, 3 loops on your hook, yarn over, pull through 2 loops, yarn over, pull through the next 2 loops. So that's what it's going to be throughout the whole entire project. Starting with a single crochet all the time. When you turn your work, you always start with a single crochet, then a double, single, double, single, double, until you've reached the end of the project. And then you turn your work, always chain 1. When you turn your work, then start with a single. Okay, so I've just finished that double. Let's go ahead and do a single. Then a double. A single. And a double crochet. A single. And next a double crochet. A single crochet next. Insert, yarn over, pull up a loop, 2 loops on the hook, yarn over and pull through both loops. Next we're doing a double, so we yarn over, insert, pull up that loop, 3 loops on the hook, yarn over and pull through 2, yarn over, pull through, last 2. Next we're going to do a single crochet. Insert, pull up a loop, 2 loops on hook, yarn over, pull through both loops. Double crochet. Single crochet. Double crochet. Single crochet. Next, a double crochet. Next, we're going to do a single crochet. And it so happens that my very last stitch, which is hidden here, is going to be a double. Yarn over, insert in the space, the very last stitch, pull up that loop, 3 loops on your hook, yarn over, pull through 2, and pull through 2. Now we're at the end of our second row. So you've done your half double crochet, the first row, and the second row you start with a chain 1, and then you went on to do turn work and start with a single crochet here. Now you're going to do the same thing. You're going to end your work by chaining 1, and in that row by chaining 1, then turning the work over, and then you are going to start with a, that's correct, single crochet in the very first space provided. Insert, pull up that loop, 2 loops on your hook, yarn over and pull through both loops. Your next stitch is going to be a double crochet. Yarn over, insert in the next space beside, pull up, there's 3 loops on the hook, yarn over, insert, pull through 2 loops, yarn over and pull through the last 2. Your next stitch is going to be a single crochet, and your next stitch after that is going to be a double crochet. You've got it. Okay, so you continue doing that until you have reached your desired width and length, and then once you're done, you can then move on to the leaves, which I will be showing you. Once you're at the end, so this is my starting, my base, and now this would be my end. So once you're at the end, what you're going to do is do a half double crochet at the end. Okay, so imagine that I'm at the end here, my very last double crochet, and I wanted to finish off my work with a half double crochet up here. What I'm going to do to finish it off, to have another row of half double crochet and to have it at the very top when I'm done and I want to stop doing the body of my pillow cover. So I'm at my very last stitch. I will chain 1 again, turn the work as normal, so you chain 1 and always turn your work. So your very first stitch, you're going to start your half double crochet. So you're going to yarn over, insert in the very first stitch, pull up 3 loops on the hook, yarn over and pull through all 3. And that's how you do your half double crochet to end your project for the main body. You yarn over, insert in the space provided, pull up 3 loops, yarn over and pull through all 3 loops. And then you're creating your half double crochet for the very top, as well as you've done it on the bottom. Okay, so you continue doing that until you've reached the end of the row that you're at. Once you are at the end, you will do like always, chaining 1 and cutting your yarn. So you will chain 1 just to end the row, and then no more turning because you're done, right? And then you can snip your yarn. So what I'm doing is creating that same effect for the bottom and for the top. Okay, so the bottom is half double crochet. After I've changed my 64 or my 128 stitches across, I then start with a half double crochet going along to give it that second foundation, that first row of half double crochet. Then in the body, which is going to be the main project, starting by chaining 1, then turning the work, starting in the first stitch, a single crochet.
So we have 3 treble clusters so far. 1, 2, 3. Let's do another one. Okay. Right, so we can do another treble cluster. Alright, so now that we've grown the leaf a little bit, we're going to do a treble in the next space beside it. And then we're going to pull through the last two. So that's our treble. Then we're going to do 2 half double crochets. Sorry, 2 double crochets, I apologize. 2. Then we're going to do 2 half double crochets. Okay, then next we are going to do a single crochet in the very stitch beside it until we've reached the tip. Now that we have reached the tip here, there's a stitch that's right at the end. We're going to do a slip stitch. Insert the hook, pull through, and pull through that loop. So now that we're at the very tip and we've done a slip stitch, you want to chain 3. This is where I change my needle because it's much more convenient that way, easier to use a smaller needle. So you chain 3, you are going to insert into the very first stitch of the 3. Okay, so you've chained 3, turn the work and insert the needle in the very first stitch of the 3 that you've created. Once you've done that, you do a slip stitch, then you insert in the very same stitch that you've done at the tip and do another slip stitch there. Okay, so you're creating something like a picot or picot. So you're creating a tip. Okay. Once you've done that, you are going to do a single crochet in the very next stitch. Then I change my needle and I start again. So I'm going to do a half double crochet here in the next stitch. Then you want to do another half double crochet. Then you want to do a double crochet. So we're going to do 2 double crochets here. 1 and 2. Now, if you want to go ahead and add some variation, you can, I'll show you in another video. We'll just stick to this loop. So we'll yarn over, we're going to do a treble. Yarn over twice, insert. Pull through 2, pull through 2, and pull through the very last 2. Now we're going to begin our treble clusters. We yarn over twice, 3 loop on the hook, insert in the space beside, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. And we're going to do that again, insert in the very same space. 3 loops on the hook, yarn over, and pull through all 3. We're going to do the cluster again in the next stitch beside it. Doing this treble once again, inserting in the very same stitch that we've just done the first treble. And yarn over and pull through all 3 loops. We are going to do the treble once again, yarn over twice. Insert in the space directly beside the one we've just completed. Pull through 2, pull through 2, leave in 2 loops on the hook, yarn over twice again. Insert in the very same stitch that we've just created, the treble. Now we have 3 loops on the hook, yarn over and pull through all 3. Okay, so we're going to do that one more time in the next stitch beside. Three loops, yarn over and pull through all 3. Now that's what our leaf's starting to look like. Okay, so we are going to go ahead, let's count how many trebles we have, make sure we have equal amounts on both sides. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 treble clusters on that side. 1, 2, 3, 4. So we need 1 more treble cluster. So 5 treble clusters on each side, making it nice and even. Alright, so our next stitch we are going to do a treble in the very next stitch beside it. So we pull through all loops. Then next we're going to do a double crochet. Next we're going to do 2 half double crochets. Okay. Starts to look like a leaf. Alrighty, and then our very last stitch, I like to change my needle again. We are going into the base of the leaf. We are going to pull out that loop there, the one that we came across, and we're going to do a single crochet. Alright, and what we want to do is there is a stitch that's directly in the center. We are going to do a slip stitch. So, there we go. And there we go. And that's your leaf. So you do as many as you would like to create your very own design for your accent, for your pillow cover. You can do it in the bigger version. The difference is increase in the treble clusters. Do it toward the center of the stitches. So if you want a really big leaf and you do say like 25, ensure that the treble clusters are in the center of more toward the center of the leaf, okay? So you can do them smaller and bigger anyhow as you please. Get some ideas. You can add more to it like mine here. Now I made mine curl. That's something else I'd like to show you, but not in this video. There's a little bit of a difference to make them curl up like that. See, as opposed to this one I showed you, it's more like a leaf, like a tulip leaf kind of shape. So that's okay. So you can add as many leaves as you would like, okay? Just wanted to show you how I'm assembling my leaves. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 leaves.
I do have this beautiful button here that I just want it as a centerpiece. It's got one of those loop backs. So you can do 2 things. You can use your yarn needle, or you can, let's see if my my smaller yarn needle will work. So I'm just going to try and insert this into the back portion of the button. So I'm flipping it over and pulling those 2 yarn strings that I've inserted in the needle to the back. I'm just going to go ahead and tie it. I'm tying it twice, making 2 knots. You can make any amount of knots you prefer. So I've secured it there, there. Beautiful. Loving this project already. All right, so now that I have my centerpiece, you can put it anywhere you prefer, anywhere on the project. I think I'm going to put mine down to the corner. So you do have to go ahead and sew this in. If not, you can I'm going to put it at this corner, and I'm going to show you how I'm going to do that. These guys, I'm going to use my handy needle again, the smaller one. Just find any position on the body of the and just slip that through. Go ahead and do the same for the second strings here. Not in the same spot, just another open section. So I would have it there, and then I flip it over, and of course trusty ties. This time I'm going to do about 4 knots, just to make sure that it is secure, because it will not be loosed out again. Great. Do whatever knot you think is best to secure it, because I'm not sewing it on, I'm actually tying it on. But just try to do it in the center so you don't have any bulge, because it's going to be your comfy pillow, right? So there, I've secured that. There. Okay, so now for the most important part of this project is how to attach both sides. Okay, so what I'm going to do is flip it over. So as you can tell, my flower is on the inside. So this is what is happening here. You're creating this stitch, and it's on the inside of the pillow. So you want to continue doing that along the entire length and around until you are completely done. But I'm going to do the stitch to the sides, making sure that there's an opening. Once there's an opening, you're going to flip it over and insert your pillow. I'll show you that. I'm going to just go ahead and do my sides, okay? So the stitches, the slip stitch that you've done will create something looking like this. A nice seal. When you flip it over, see how nice that looks? A nice join in, gives it a designer edge too, and it looks really, really nice and clean. So that's why I like the slip stitch. Okay, so I'll show you what it looks like when I'm finished with the other side, as well as when I'm going to insert the pillow. Okay. So I've gone ahead and insert my pillow inside my cover. You want to fill the corners out. Ensure that the corners are filled out. And I like a nice fluffy pillow. So this cover is a forever cover, meaning it will not be taken off. So we're making a permanent cover for this pillow insert. You can, however, make it as a washable cover by adding some more stitches. Do a fold over and make a casing, like adding buttons or something. But I don't. This tutorial is a forever pillow cover. It's a permanent cover. Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and do right here. I'm going to go ahead and do do slip stitches all across, just like we've done with the inside portion. You want to go ahead and do the same for the outside. Okay, there, so the pillow is actually looking much better. And I do have just a few these last stitches, so I'm going to show you. How I do mine, just to seal it. Finding the corresponding stitch, inserting the hook, pulling it through. Finding the corresponding stitch, insert it and pull it through. So that's my slip stitch. There. And pulling it through. So the texture of this pillow is really gorgeous. It's lovely. I do like the feel. It's very therapeutic as well if you run your hands across over and over. And getting the last stitches here. And I'm sealing it with an extra stitch. So this is what a reverse single crochet looks like. I'm using both yarns, so it kind of have that candy cane effect. So what a reverse single crochet is, insert in both spaces here. So we're working backwards. Instead of going forward with the stitch, it's going backwards. So insert. This is either a reverse single crochet or it's called a crab stitch. So insert in the space backwards. Because I'm using two yarns, it's a bit tough to pull through, but just be careful and take your time. All right, so you want to go ahead and do that all along if you prefer. If you want to do it all around the edges as well, the sides, that's fine as well too. But I'll show you what the end product looks like when I'm all done.